What if I told you the key to unlocking laser-like focus in 2026 isn't another productivity hack, a new app, or even deep work? What if the secret is being bored? Sounds crazy, right? We live in a world that has basically declared war on boredom. Every spare moment, every red light, every second a website takes to load is a void we feel we have to fill. We reach for our phones in the elevator while waiting for coffee, even in the ad breaks of a show. The data on this is wild. Studies show the average American checks their phone anywhere from 144 to over 200 times a day. Many of us do it without even realizing it. We're just caught in this loop, chasing the next tiny hit of dopamine from a new notification or a new video. But in a world engineered to steal your attention, a radical and surprisingly simple strategy for 2026 promises to give it all back. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list, it's about taking things away. This is the Boredom Protocol, a powerful method to reclaim your mind and finally tackle your biggest goals. And by the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide to try it yourself, starting today. Let's be real for a second. How many browser tabs do you have open right now? How many times have you already glanced at your phone since you started this video? If you feel scattered, you're not alone. Our days feel fragmented, our biggest projects seem to get further away, and we're always busy, but not actually productive. We're living through a crisis of attention, and it's not entirely our fault. So much of our modern lives are shaped by algorithms. There's this constant pressure to be visible, to optimize everything. And honestly, we're just drowning in a state of infinite distraction. The technology we use every day is designed, quite deliberately, to capture and hold our focus. This has created what some are calling a synthetic content crisis. Now, while the claim that 90% of the internet is AI-generated is definitely an overstatement, some estimates for 2026 suggest that AI could be responsible for 15 to 20% of new online content, adding to an already overwhelming fire hose of information designed to keep us scrolling. This has literally rewired our brains. We've developed shorter attention spans and, honestly, a really low tolerance for anything that requires deep, quiet thought. Our brains are now trained to crave novelty and to switch tasks constantly. Some fascinating research has shown that the mere presence of your phone, even if it's off and face down on the table, can actually reduce your available brain power. Part of your brain is actively working to not pick up the phone, and that effort alone is a brain drain. This constant switching comes at a huge cognitive cost, leading to more errors, lower quality work, and, a nagging sense of anxiety. The result? Well, we get trapped in a cycle of shallow work and cheap dopamine. We get a little hit from answering an email, a little hit from scrolling a feed, a little hit from a short video. These behaviors are reinforced by the very design of the apps we use, but they leave us feeling pretty unfulfilled. We're so busy reacting to the endless stream of digital noise that we never have the mental space to be proactive, to think deeply, or to create something meaningful. This isn't just a personal problem, it's a systemic one, and it needs a new solution. This is where the Boredom Protocol comes in. It's a deliberate, strategic choice to embrace emptiness. It's the practice of intentionally scheduling moments of non-stimulation to let your brain reset, recalibrate, and, ultimately, refocus. We've been taught to see boredom as an emergency, but science tells a completely different story. Boredom isn't a sign of laziness. It's a signal from your brain. It's telling you that your current activity isn't engaging enough, and it's pushing you to seek out new and creative solutions. In fact, the ability to be bored and the ability to be creative are directly linked. Studies have shown that when people are forced to do painfully dull tasks, like copying numbers out of a phone book, they come up with more creative ideas afterward. Why? Because when our minds aren't busy processing a flood of external information, they start to wander. And mind wandering isn't wasted time. It's when we activate a powerful neural network called the default mode network. This is the part of your brain that connects old memories, mashes up different ideas, and generates those aha moments that feel like they come from nowhere. Our discomfort with true boredom is profound. In a now famous 2014 study, participants were left alone in a room with their thoughts for just 6 to 15 minutes. The only other thing in the room was a button that would give them a mild electric shock. An incredible number of participants, 67% of men and 25% of women, chose to shock themselves, rather than just sit there with their thoughts. This highlights our deep-seated fear of being idle, a fear that robs us of our most creative and insightful moments. The Boredom Protocol uses this science to our advantage. By intentionally stepping away from all the noise, you're giving your brain the space it desperately needs to do its best work. You're letting it daydream, process information in the background, and come up with the brilliant ideas that focused head-down work often misses. It's a forced reset of your brain's overstimulated reward system. It's about relearning how to get that dopamine hit from effort and achievement, not just from passive scrolling. Let's be clear. Implementing the Boredom Protocol isn't just another productivity hack. It's a small act of rebellion. In 2026, choosing boredom is a countercultural statement. It's a refusal to play by the rules of the attention economy. It's about choosing to live parts of your life unrecorded and resisting the pressure to turn your entire identity into content. We're already seeing a growing backlash against the always-on mentality. Think about trends like slow living, digital detoxes, and the comeback of analog tools like flip phones and film cameras. This movement is about friction maxing, intentionally choosing the slightly less convenient analog option. It's writing in a journal with a real pen instead of a notes app. It's reading a physical book instead of a screen. It's going for a walk and leaving your headphones at home. Each of these choices introduces a little bit of healthy friction into your life, forcing you to slow down and actually be present. By adopting the Boredom Protocol, you're joining this rebellion. You're signaling that your attention is not for sale. You are carving out protected space for your mind to think, to wonder, and to connect with yourself. It's about realizing that your well-being isn't in the next notification, but in the quiet spaces in between. The state of your attention truly determines the state of your life. So, how do you actually do this? The concept is simple, but sticking with it isn't always easy. It involves two key phases: a dopamine reset and integrating regular boredom bursts. Phase 1 is the dopamine reset. First, you need to conduct what's often called a dopamine fast. The goal here is to dramatically reduce your exposure to all those high dopamine, low-effort activities for a short period, like 48 hours. This helps your brain's reward pathways reset. Define your rules. For 48 hours, eliminate all non-essential digital noise. That means no social media, no news feeds, no YouTube. Well, after this video, of course. No podcasts, and no music, unless you're sitting down to actively listen without doing anything else. Map your dopamine. Before you start, grab a piece of paper and think about where you get your dopamine hits. Assign 100 points across your daily activities. Maybe scrolling Instagram is 30 points, checking email is 20, and so on. This exercise makes the invisible habits visible. Embrace the void. The first few hours are going to feel weird. You'll feel that itch to check your phone. That's the withdrawal. Your only job is to notice that feeling and not act on it. This is where the magic happens. Let the boredom wash over you. Engage in slow dopamine activities. Replace the fast, cheap hits with things that provide a more lasting sense of satisfaction. Read a physical book. Go for a long walk. Journal with a pen and paper. Meditate, or just be alone with your thoughts. Talk to a friend or family member, preferably face to face. Phase 2. Integrate boredom bursts and smart tech. After your initial reset, the goal is to build sustainable habits. Schedule boredom bursts. This is the core of the protocol. Every single day, schedule 15 to 20 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Seriously, sit in a chair and stare at a wall. Look out a window. No phone, no book, no music. Just you and your own mind. Think of it as a workout for your focus muscle. Use AI as an ally, not an enemy. The point isn't to abandon technology, but to use it on your own terms. By 2026, AI tools can be incredible allies in this fight. Use AI calendar assistants to ruthlessly block out deep work and boredom sessions. Use AI to summarize long reports or filter your email, not to create more noise, but to reclaim your time. The smartest companies are using AI to redesign how work gets done, creating more space for human creativity, not just adding more tools. Practice single tasking. Let go of the myth of multitasking. When you work on one thing. When you take a break, actually take a break. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method, working in focused 25-minute sprints, to train your brain to stick with a single task without getting distracted. We're at a turning point. The world is only going to get more distracting. The algorithms will get more persuasive, and the demands on our attention will become more intense. The future will belong to those who can protect their ability to focus. The boredom protocol isn't about becoming a hermit or rejecting technology. It's about engaging with the modern world on your own terms. It's about understanding that true productivity isn't about being busy. It's about being deeply present. It's about realizing that your best ideas won't come from another article or video, but from the quiet, unstructured space you create for yourself. Embracing boredom is the ultimate life hack for a distracted world. It's the path to reclaiming your mind, doing your best work, and finally achieving your most ambitious goals. Remember, the state of your attention determines the state of your life. So choose to be bored. Choose to be focused. Your future self will thank you for it.